As parents, we celebrate when our children take that very first step. What was it like for you, both physically and mentally, the day you once again took your first step?
The first time I stood up in the exoskeleton, I was kind of in the moment. I was thinking about how the machine was working, what I needed to do. So initially, when I first stood up, I was more concentrating on the technical aspects of everything. And then once I got up and I started looking around and was looking people in the eye again, it kind of hit me that, here I am. I'm looking at the world from 6 foot tall again, something I hadn't done in 4 years. And then taking those first steps, it's really difficult to describe the feeling. It's just something that, because doctors said, you're not going to stand, you're not going to ever be able to walk again. And I knew that deep down inside, I knew that somewhere down the road that I would be on my feet and walking again. I didn't know how or when, but I just knew there was more for me. And so 4 years later, here I was at that point where I was actually able to stand and walk. So it was just one of those small miracles in life that you never thought would come, but there I was doing it. And then I guess my wife, she was recording it and taking video of it. And that night when we got back to the room, I looked at the tape and watched it, and I was just amazed to see myself. There I am standing and walking. So it was really, I was just kind of awestruck by the whole thing.
When Gary first took his first step, we were at the Exo Bionics facility. It's a big facility out in California. It's beautiful, and we were there, and they were getting him all strapped in and getting ready to go. And I was in the moment. I had my camera, and I had the video ready, and then it happened, and he stood up, and he seemed so tall to me because I obviously wasn't used to it, and like I say, I think he was extra handsome when he was standing, and I was videoing and taking lots of pictures, and I could not get them to our children who were scattered throughout the country, different places. I could not get it to them fast enough, and I knew they would be so excited to see their dad, and they were, and it was. I felt very fortunate that he was able to do that, and things fell in place where he had the opportunity. And, at that time, we had no idea that it would be a year and a half and he would have his own exoskeleton. So we were really super, super excited when that happened too.
So it's a funny story. That first time we stood, the physical therapist that was working with us, her name is Jen, and I'd always seen her from the chair. She just always looked taller, and I'd never really thought about it. And first time we stood up, I get standing up straight, and she's holding on my chest, and she's looking up at me. And I'm looking down at her, and she's like, "I know, I'm short."
I think he'd lost his perspective of how tall people are from the chair.
Everybody looks. I look up to everybody from the chair.
Yeah. It was a pretty great moment. I think my favorite part about him walking in the exoskeleton occurred about a month after he first walked in it. He walked in it at an event, and all three of our children were there. So when we shared it, the girls were crying so hard. It was the first time they'd seen their dad walk, and our son, he was recording the whole thing, and getting to share that with them was my favorite exoskeleton moment. For sure.
We didn't really think about this until we were driving here last night, but this will be the first time since I was injured that I will be able to stand up for the national anthem. And that's one of those things where, to be able to stand and salute the flag truly is a privilege. And when you can't do it, you miss it.